there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of NECA Live. Whether you are joining us right here on LinkedIn or later as part of the NECA Podcast Network, we thank you for tuning into the show every single week. This is the best place to find out about all of the incredible things that are happening at NECA all across the United States. We have built a really good family here, I think, haven't we, every Monday? So I am glad that so many of you are taking the time to join us. We have got a heck of an episode in store for you today, so let's get started. Today, we are hugely excited to be featuring the latest NECA Premier Partner company, Day and Night Solar. I got to know the company over the course of the last few months, and they are a wonderful group of people driven by innovation. As you may know, NECA's Premier Partner program is one of the greatest benefits that we provide to our members. It connects them to leading products and services that the electrical construction industry needs and also has to offer. It is the most comprehensive business-to-business marketing and sales opportunity that the entire industry has to offer. These companies showcase their brands, their products, and their services to the electrical construction industry through NECA's events, publications, and digital platforms. Day and Night Solar is a turnkey solar solution provider for commercial and residential construction. They successfully compete in the solar PV industry through cooperation with NECA members, contractors, and they understand what it takes to provide a winning combination for turnkey solar PV developments. And there has never been a better time to make sure that you are up to speed with this most current development in the industry. And here to talk with us about this and so much more, it's my old buddy from NECA now, Bob Eaton, managing partner at Day and Night Solar. And I'm delighted today to meet Melinda Kershaw, director of marketing at the company. Happy Monday to both of you. Thank you for coming and joining me here on NECA Live. Bob, how was your weekend?
David, it was great, other than, we're a little cold here in the Midwest. It was a little chilly, but, it's spring, so all is good.
Bob, in Ireland, we have been self-medicating with alcohol for years. We're warming ourselves from the inside out, I can assure you. How about you, Melinda? What did you get up to?
It was great. I was out of town for part of the weekend and then came back in and got to see my kids. So happy Mother's Day, dude.
Well, I'm not a mother yet, but it's early days. Let's see how it goes. Well, look, it is so nice to spend some time with you. Bob, why don't you begin by telling everyone a little bit of the history and the story of Day and Night Solar? Where exactly did this all begin, and what is your primary goal every day?
Well, we started back in 2008 when the U.S. government decided to put incentives and to jump in head first. Quite honestly, some of the original board members worked in the solar in the early 80s. The first time they did an incentive. And our goal really was to help educate along the way, from what we learned in the 80s and all the, things that made it really not last, that it was just kind of a blip, that this time it was going to be more permanent. And we felt that educating the qualified industries, people, IBW at NECA, people that were already very efficient at electric. So, our goal was, how could we help fill that gap? And that's really what we spent the last 12 plus years trying to learn, get better at that, and make that happen.
And it's that education piece that is so important, Bob, isn't it? Because you are in the middle of a market that is growing and changing every single day. And I know for the contractors watching and listening to us, I can imagine it's really difficult for them to stay up to date in order to remain competitive while also making sure that they're at the cutting edge of innovation. So tell me, how do you and the team at Day and Night be a resource for these contractors?
Well, I think it's part of our core was understanding what are we bringing to these contractors, really? We're not bringing the physical people. We're bringing in knowledge and a system by which to help them jump into a market space that, honestly, as we said, was looked at as it was an anomaly, but it's not going to be, and now it's become a full stream business. And a lot of contractors, we felt from early on that were they going to invest the time to learn the hours, the details, to keep up on the newest and latest. And we bet that they wouldn't have time at the end of the day, and that we were going to become that resource for them, and to take the risk away from, jumping into a new segment of business that they hadn't been in. So that's really important.
And it's that jump, isn't it? That sense of risk, that high barrier to entry that might make some contractors say, oh, I'm not entirely sure if this is for me, because there are two sides to this. Of course, there's the tech side, and if they're not familiar with the brand new innovations that are on the market, that'll be tough. But then the wider education piece about understanding how it actually fits inside projects, the impact that it makes, and even simply estimating correctly what an install charge would be. How do you work closely with the contractors to make sure that they thrive in that industry?
Well, we combined our sales team. Melinda leads that, and really, it's truly passing on education. I mean, I spent several years as a draftsman personally and an estimator. And I learned in the 80s that a bad estimate is a bad estimate. And you really have to understand the labor, the parts, and the pieces. And we've taken the time to go to the job sites and watch hands-on, and breaking down a project from unloading the truck to filling a roof or staging an area to marking off a system, to every little piece, to connecting it to the internet and making sure all of the reports and things are running. Most of the contractors just don't have an experience base, and we find using a traditional program puts them in the same price as everybody else and no edge.
And it is such a unique industry and a unique space, and it's one that's changing every single day. It is impossible, I think, for contractors who are juggling so many projects, so many jobs, and so many priorities to be experts in that space. And this is where you and your team come in. And Melinda, I'm sure you guys have experienced and delivered some extraordinary success stories that really stand out for you. Are there any that you're really proud that you personally and the team have made an impact with?
Yeah, it's not really just one particular project. I believe that, our team is really proud of, and I believe it's the success story that we've had with the NECA members, with the NECA contractors, that we're able to assist the contractors in making them comfortable with working with us, with working through the whole process, because it is different. So making sure that they are where they need to be. But it's really the pride of working with the entire team that has been our biggest success story, I think.
And obviously, Melinda, you are a professional marketer. I imagine you could sell anything to anyone. However, you know that ultimately it's that customer relationship, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's knowing and understanding that when you deliver value, when you share knowledge and you share expertise, that's what separates, any other provider from you and the team at Day and Night. And I know for busy contractors, understanding how they market and position themselves can be really challenging, especially if this is a sector that they don't feel incredibly close to. It doesn't feel like a specialist area. So how do they position themselves so that so that they can speak authoritatively and deliver authoritatively? And how has that changed in recent years? How they actually find that strong market position?
Yeah. So that's one of the biggest things that has drastically changed within our segment is over the last decade, solar has just evolved, and kind of getting back to what Bob stated was the ability to capture those changes and then understand those changes and how that affects each individual project, which has been ever changing across the country. But being proactive with their customers, really we teach the contractors how to go after their current client base and really be proactive in front of the work, not wait for a project to come to them. So then they can be in that driver's seat. They can be helping their client, and their client knows that they are the project expert for solar.
If I know anything about NECA members, they like to be in the driving seat, I can assure you. And I think that's why you are such an amazing fit as our latest Premier partner. And I know, Melinda, one thing that you and the team, Bob and I talked about this a few months ago, talk about is this role of relationships, making sure that you are building relationships to create repeat customers. And in fact, really, more partnerships than customers, strategic relationships. So, Melinda, what are some of the principles that you have found useful when it comes to building these long-lasting relationships that aren't just about getting a purchase order or a contract, but actually lasting well into the future?
Right. Well, we believe Day and Night Solar's core values, trust, transparency, honesty, really line up with the NECA and the NECA members and the NECA contractors. So having that in place and taking care of your clients on a project by project basis, really listening to a client and understanding what they are asking, and then being able to deliver that product to them really get you repeat customers, but it also gets you referrals, a referral base. But being that project expert for a client when everything is changing is really great.
It changes the DNA, doesn't it? It becomes a human relationship instead of just a business relationship. And that's my enduring memory of all of the years that I spent working with NECA, is it doesn't feel like we're having business conversations when we're there. It feels like we're genuinely connecting. And I know that that really is part of the DNA of how you connect with all of your customers, clients, leads, prospects, and stakeholders. And I have to ask as well, obviously this is a brand new relationship for NECA and for you, the team at Day and Night. Melinda, how excited are you about what this means for you guys in the future?
Oh my gosh, we're very excited. Developing the solar sector on a larger scale has always been our goal, and to be helping the NECA contractors developing and taking advantage of this exploding industry that we're in. We believe it really should land in the electrical industry, and we've always had that belief. So we're very excited to be in, the premier partnership relationship with NECA, and also on the day-to-day just interaction with all of our NECA contractors.
And obviously, Bob, as we hear this word infrastructure, where this word is being used more than the and but is for the why. It's everywhere at the moment. Surely there has never been a better time for contractors out there to step up and make sure that they work with you to be at the forefront of solar, because as intimidating as it might be for a sector, it's not the future anymore. It is here right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. And we really want to emphasize the ability to help them explain the economics. That's probably, a lot of them understand the electrical aspects, and really they're sharp guys. They get all that. But even in states where there's not a lot of incentives, corporate America can have a payback of just 3 or 4, maybe 5 years on a 30-plus year power plant. And the message needs to come from NECA into the customer world, not somebody knocking on the door that's not part of one of these organizations. And I think that's one of the things that we get worked up, is how do we become better at helping them achieve those goals?
Well, I know that there will be tons of our viewers who will be keen to hear from you. We've got lots of great comments coming in already. Anthony is saying hello. Let me see. Vanessa, good to see you, Vanessa. Vanessa is an ex-NECA Live guest. Leslie, great to hear from you, Leslie. Leslie, I got your email. I will reply soon, I promise. I've just been super busy. Then we've got Marvin. It's great to see you, Marvin. Osney, Clay is saying hello. This is a really popular. Eduardo is saying hello. Guys, you might be our most popular guests in quite some time. This feels like a Mother's Day weekend treat. Bob and Melinda, for our audience who want to reach out to you, where should they connect with you after this?
He's pointing
Melinda,
to me.
yes, connect with Melinda.
That's you told, Melinda. Melinda, we want your home number. We want your pager. What's your address? Let us know when you're out so the door's open.
Yeah, obviously you can always go to info@dayandnightsolar.com and reach out to both of us. Or you can, Bob's email address is Bob at Day and Night Solar, Melinda at Day and Night Solar. We will get them directly, and we'd be happy to respond to anyone that, has any questions for us.
Fantastic. Bob, I think you've just been promoted to Melinda's PA, her executive assistant. I think you're going to absolutely nail it. Melinda, I'll happily sit in on his appraisal, and I will be tough on this guy, all right? I will be the Simon Cowell. I will be the Simon Cowell on this judging panel.
That sounds good.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I am so excited to see what the future brings for NECA and Day and Night. And hopefully we'll see you back here another Monday really soon.
Okay.
Good
Thank
deal.
you.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one. And of course, thanks to all of you for taking the time to join us. I know you are as excited as I am about the Day and Night Solar Premier Partnership. And if you want to find out more, then go to dayandnightsolar.com. But here we have a quick little intro video that sums up some of what it is that makes them tick. But before I go, I wanted to remind you that this is the final week for you to get access to all of the incredible content from NECA Now 2021, including a great session with Bob. Bob and I had the opportunity to sit down, and it was one of our most popular, one of our best feedback sessions at NECA Now as well. There are education sessions, there are mind-blowing plenary sessions, even some entertainment, which genuinely can happen on the internet, I promise you. You've got the virtual exhibit hall, and that is all available to you all the way up to May 15. So if you go to NECA-now.com, you can catch up with everything there. Until I see you next time, this has been NECA Live.